How do you handle it when you feel hungry all the time? All right, you take a few minutes, hot moment, to reflect on what you're actually saying and figuring out if that is indeed the case. And I'm saying that very honestly, I felt that way too. And this is how that happens. When we diet, we completely disconnect from our bodies. We're taught to ignore hunger. We're taught to ignore satiety. We're taught to ignore our cravings. We're taught to ignore this whole thing that we live in. Nope, doesn't matter. You eat this, do this workout, blah, blah. We're taught to disconnect. So my guess is that unless you have some very specific, hormonal disease, or there's something called Prader syndrome, I think, where people don't feel hunger, or they feel it all the time, or whatever, most likely, I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying, worked with a lot of people over the years, most likely you're disconnected from your body. Again, as I was, this is no criticism. It's pretty normal these days because of how we live to be disconnected from your body. Because again, day in, day out, diet culture teaches you that this isn't smart and that the diet industry is. Of course, that's a bunch of you know what. So this is how I got it back. And this is what I think you should try too. When I first became an intuitive eater, which is how you cure this, 100%, I said, I don't even know when I'm hungry. Is this hunger? I don't even know. I'm like, I have this body and I don't even know. I'm so unfamiliar with my biological cues. Again, as most people are. You refuse to live that way and you say, I'm going to start engaging with my body. And the beautiful thing is, your body wants you to listen. So as soon as you make a conscious effort to start listening to your body, it's literally, it's like magic. It's not magic, it's biology, but it feels like magic because you're like, okay, if I just quiet my brain and just say, okay, how am I going to figure out if this is hunger or not? All right, I'm going to put something in my mouth and see what happens. How does it feel? And when you're hungry and you put food in your mouth, your body celebrates with saliva and good feelings, a feeling of good health. Food it triggers joy and satisfaction in you when you're hungry. And when you're not hungry, okay, and you put food in your mouth, food can still be tasty, but it pales in comparison. So try eating things when you're not sure you're hungry, when you're absolutely positive you're hungry, or even if you just experiment. Our online course honestly goes through this, and I'm gonna say this like every time. If you can't afford it, it's $29. If you can't afford it, I'll give it to you. Don't worry about it. I mean, please don't take advantage of me in that way, anybody, and people don't. People are awesome actually, but if you really are in a bind and your diet mentality is ruining your life and you're over 18, I help you. So, but in it, you do things like you experiment with your own body's signals to you. It's like, okay, I think I'm feeling hungry. This might be hungry. Put something in my mouth. Oh my God, that's so good. Tons of saliva. I feel physically better. And okay, that was probably hunger. Sometimes you're going to eat something when you're hungry. You think you're hungry, and you're going to go, I'm not lighting up. You want to light up when you have food, all right? Like yesterday, I did a thing on having a bagel. Okay, so today, for some reason, I love them. I was really hungry. I came home and I had a bagel. And like today, I wanted strawberry jelly preserves put on top. Like yesterday, I didn't, right? So I'm open to my body's signal. I had the feeling my body just really wanted calories because I just done this little tennis workout I do, and I was so hungry. It was so good. When you eat, it should be so delicious. Don't settle for No, demand delicious. And all you got to do to get delicious is wait till you're really hungry, till your hunger is in bloom. Not till you're hangry, not till you're miserable, but until you're just strong, bright, beautiful hunger. As long as you can afford food, hunger is amazing. It's the sauce, your best sauce. So I encourage you to keep experimenting. Notice a feeling of hunger, like you say you're hungry all the time. There's got to be degrees there, right? Notice those degrees. Eat something. How do you feel? Write it down. Learn about yourself. You are your own research project in this way when you become an intuitive eater. And another thing that definitely happened to me is I confused hunger and thirst. And I hate it when people say, oh, just drink some water. Now, I don't mean bully yourself or be mean to yourself because just have some water. I mean, have something you like to drink and see, is it that fluid that is lighting you up? Because that for me was definitely a thing. And also, the other big one of these three is fatigue. Like I definitely confused hunger and fatigue. And that also seems like, oh, I'm really hungry. I think I feel hungry. I'm just going to go lay down. I don't want to do that. Okay, I know, but just do the best you can. Like, just see if you just rest for a minute. How do you feel? And again, only you can do this. Only you can be your own researcher in this way, you know? And it's not like dieting where it's just, dieting just feels like drudgery and like discipline and ignoring yourself, and it's a regimen, and it's not fun. This, I'm telling you, my friends, it's joyful. It's joyful to learn what your hunger feels like, what food you actually like. I had so many thoughts about what food I actually like, and you probably do too. Turns out not so much. Or turns out that like I would eat salad on a diet, but I never really liked it. Well, now when I eat salad, I'm allowed to put dressing on it. And it's so funny because then I eat salad more frequently, which is obviously healthful. So those little things like don't put salad dressing on, well, so then if you told me that, then I don't want salad. But if I can put it with the dressing and make it really nice for myself or whatever, you learn. And you learn, another big thing is you learn happily that you need less food than you think to be happy. This is not a place where there's denial. This is not you caging in what you want. It's you feeling what your cravings are, feeling what your hunger is, and answering that with relevant food, relevant amounts. And then, of course, the big thing with intuitive eating and eating relevant to you is when that hunger slips away, which you will learn what yours feels like for real. You really will. Just take the time. Your body is so responsive, like when you slash your arm and it have a big cut, but it heals. Your body will heal. It really will. We're so lucky. You really will heal. I was a dieter for 25 years. If I can heal since the year 2000, so can you. So do not despair. Do this and just say, when I'm hungry, I'm going to enjoy the food I want, that I love, that I crave physically. And again, you'll work to figure out what those are. You really will. And when that hunger, the only thing, I'm saying trade-off, it's not even, it doesn't feel like a trade-off at all now. In the beginning it is because you're not used to it. When I feel that hunger slip away, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm going to say, hunger is not bright anymore. I'm simply waiting for it to come back and light me up again so food is amazing again. And I get to do this several times a day, and it's not, you guys, it's beautiful. It's how Mother Nature wants us to live. It's how people used to live. And the fact that we have lots of food and lots of choices does not mean that we are victims of the food and the choices. It just means you have to shift your mindset to appreciation and to also demanding that when you eat, it's a really, really fun and nice. Okay? You can do this, and it's a great question because a lot of people out there feel that way. Thanks a lot for your question, and I'll talk to you soon.